Hello, friends, it's Miss V, and I'm recording another book for Miss Horner's class, Bambi. This week we're learning about baby animals, so I will be reading Bambi because he is a baby animal. It was spring, and the forest was alive with news. Everyone was excited. It's happened, have you heard? Over in the thicket. Come and see. A magpie flew by Old Owl, who was taking his daily nap. Wake up, friend Owl. The young prince is born. Come on, you'd better hurry. Now, Owl preferred to spend the day at home, fast asleep. But when he heard the news, he woke right up and flew to the thicket. After all, it isn't every day that the spring young prince is born. As the animals quietly approached the shady glen, they saw a newborn baby deer sleeping by his proud mother. She gently nudged the tiny fawn and whispered, Wake up, you have visitors. The fawn slowly opened his new eyes. Then he got up, his new legs still shaky, and looked around curiously at the creatures who had come to admire him. A friendly baby rabbit named Thumper hopped over to the mother deer. What are you going to call him? I think I'll name him Bambi. Bambi? Yep, I guess that'll do. Then Thumper and the other visitors hopped and scampered away, leaving the young prince to nap. By the time summer came, Prince Bambi was strong enough to explore the forest with his mother. Come along, Bambi, she said one morning. It's time you learned your way outside the thicket. The little fawn, his legs steadier now, followed his mother out the glen. Hello, young prince. The chorus of voices came from above. Bambi looked up to see a possum family, hanging from their tails, as possums do. He was puzzled. Who were these upside-down folk? Bambi turned his head this way and that to get a proper look. Another voice came nearby. Hi, Bambi. This was Thumper, who was eating a clover with his family. Let's go have some fun, suggested the new little rabbit. That seemed like a fine idea, so Bambi trotted off after Thumper. The two became friends upon some birds and perched on a low branch. Bambi stared at them closely. Those are birds, explained Thumper. Say bird. Bambi took a deep breath. Bird. And Thumper hopped up and down excitedly. He talked, the young prince can talk. And then a butterfly landed on Bambi's tail. Bird, he said, feeling very proud of himself. Thumper giggled. Ha 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 ha! That's not a bird, that's a butterfly. And Bambi shook his head in confusion. Then he saw some more colorful small things. Bending down, he sniffed at one. Butterfly! Thumper smiled. No, Bambi, that's a flower. It's pretty. Just then, from the flowers popped up a black and white face with two bright eyes. Pretty flower, said Bambi. No one had ever called a skunk that before. Thumper rocked with laughter. The bashful little skunk had smiled. Oh, that's all right. He can call me Flower if he wants to. I don't mind. Late that summer, Bambi's mother took him to the meadow. She moved carefully and sniffed the wind. You must be very careful on the meadow, Bambi. Out there we are unprotected. There are no trees to hide us. When his mother was sure it was safe, she let Bambi bound out onto the grassy meadow. He was surprised to see a little girl fawn about his own age. Her name was Feline, and she and Bambi soon became great friends. One day in early fall, as Bambi and his friends were playing in the meadow, a mighty deer rushed out from the trees. It was the forest king, and he signaled everyone to leave the meadow. In the great distance, Bambi could hear the loud, frightening noise of guns. Immediately, Bambi and his mother raced for the safety of the thicket. Bambi was frightened. When it became quiet again, he lifted his head. I don't understand, Mother. Why do we run? And Bambi's mother was still alertly watching the path from the meadow. She turned to her son. Man was in the forest. One cold morning, Bambi awoke to the startling sight. Mother, what's all this white stuff? Why, it's snow. Winter has come to the forest. Bambi stopped out of the thicket carefully and was surprised when his feet sank deep into the soft white snow. The fawn, delighted, the snow became a game. He pranced all about in the chilly air, leaving footprints in the snow. From a nearby pond, Thumper called to him. Hiya, Bambi. Come on over here. It's all right. See? The water's... Bambi trotted smoothly, confidently out onto the frozen pond. But as soon as his tiny hooves touched the ice, his hind leg slipped and down he crashed. Thumper laughed and laughed. You have to watch both ends at the same time. Bambi blinked his large eyes and got up carefully and slid across the ice to Thumper. Some fun, huh, Bambi? And they had a wonderful time. The winter months passed slowly, and food became scarce, and Bambi's mother had to strip bark from the trees to eat. Winter is sure long, isn't it, Mother? It seems long, but spring will be here soon. At last the snow melted and spring came. Owl waked from his nap. My, if it isn't the young prince. How fine you look, and you have grown another pair of antlers. Owl wasn't the only one who admired Bambi's new antlers. His childhood friend Feline also thought they were fine, and she had grown up too, and was now a graceful and lovely doe. She walked up to Bambi and touched noses. Owl had warned the young deer about this very thing, and Bambi fell in love with Feline. They're twitter-patted, muttered Owl as he watched Feline and Bambi walking in the moonlight. Months passed, and again came time when man entered the forest, bringing with him a lot of danger. Bambi sensed that something was wrong, and he left Feline and went to the edge of a tall cliff. Looking down, he saw a campfire, and he watched a spark from the fire started, some brush burning, and the fire spread quickly. Bambi hurried to warn the forest animals, and they all raced out of the forest. Down from the trees and the squirrels, and from under the ground scurried the ground hogs. Away from their nests and flew the birds. Bambi and Feline joined the other creatures on the bank across the river, and they watched sadly as the flames destroyed their homes. But spring came again to the forest, and the green grass and the flowers covered the scars left by the fire. Once again, the air was alive with excitement, and this time it was Friend Owl who spread the great news. Come quickly, everybody, to the thicket, and all the forest creatures rushed to see what happened. It was Feline, quietly resting with not one, but two new fawns. Owl's great yellow eyes widened in surprise. Look, twins! A healthier pair I've never seen. Prince Bambi must be mightily proud. Rabbits and squirrels, raccoons and birds looked on in awe. One of the fawns stood up in his wobbly legs, and he tottered over to a clear space in the screen of trees and peered through the brush toward the edge of a great cliff. There stood Bambi, his father, now king of the forest. Someday this young prince would grow up and become king just like his father. The end, friends. This was Bambi, and this was our story about animals to add to the stories for this week. Bye, friends. I miss you.